Hey guys, Slaughter Magicker, it's time for some spoilers, actually quite a lot of spoilers from the upcoming set, Murders at Markov Manor. Anyway, they spoiled like the whole dang set just about, so I'm just going to cover the rares and mythics. So let's start with Ansrag, the Quake Mole, also known as Exadrill. So his Christmas colors 8/4 legendary creature mole god. There is a lot to unpack with that. So 8 power for 4 is about par for the course after the last dinosaur set in these colors. Well, they want all arena games to finish within a couple minutes because that's what their survey told them apparently, allegedly. 8/4 for 4 is a good way to do it. And whenever it becomes blocked, untap each creature you control. After this combat phase, there is an additional combat phase, so it basically has super double strike. Oh, pardon me, mega double strike. So if you paid whatever that is, it must be blocked each combat this turn of Fable. I'm surprised they didn't give it haste. This thing is a menace to society, and I hate it. What a crap way to start off this set. Next up, we got ya boy Lazav, Wearer of Faces. Is this murder mystery going to turn out like that Fallout 4 one with the Robo-Brains? You know, no spoilers, but... Alright, so this is, of course, black-blue, 2/3 legendary creature, shapeshifter detective, and when he attacks, exile target card from a graveyard, then investigate, which is create a clue token. You can pay 2, sack it, draw a card. And then whenever you sacrifice a clue, you may have Lazav become a copy of a creature card exiled with it until end of turn. I would have said anything in play. You're already paying 2 and he's already only a 2/3. That would have been way more interesting. But, I mean, he counters a Graveyard Resurrector deck a little bit better, I guess. Self-milled Resurrect garbage is like top tier right now. Next up, we got Barbed Servitor. It's a 4-cost 1/1, so honk honk, pull in the train to Value Town. Artifact creature, construct indestructible. Oh god, okay, this is just Commander Horizons. When Barbed Servitor enters the battlefield, suspect it. It has menace and can't block. Well, does it keep that, or is it only the turn it comes out? I mean, it doesn't have haste, so I know which way I'm leaning on that, but okay, I mean, the way it's written, it keeps it, so cool. And then when Barbed Servitor deals combat damage to a player, you draw a card and you lose 1 life. But then whenever Barbed Servitor is dealt damage, target opponent loses that much life. So it's like an overcomplicated, weird version of Wall of Essence, one of the best cards ever printed. There's a lot of trade-off and it's interesting. I actually kind of like this card, especially in Commander. I mean, I usually review these in the context of Standard, as if anybody still plays that. But you know what? I think more people are going to draft and play this sealed, so I'll try to mention when a card stands out in any of those categories. So next up, we got Archdruid's Charm. It's a 3-green instant. Ooh. And then, of course, since it's a charm, unofficial rule, it has to have multi-mode. So 3 modal spell, choose 1 though. Search your library for a creature or land card and reveal it. Put it on the battlefield tapped if it's a land card. Otherwise, put it in your hand, then shuffle. Not bad. Put a 1/1 counter on target creature you control. It deals damage equal to its power to target creature you don't control. That equal to its power, just Force Fight. Force Fight was fine. This whole, you're going to take it out anyway and green just has kill spells now? Nah, come on. 0 chance of backlash. 0 chance of it misfiring if they boost it. That's crap. Really bad trend in the last couple of years. Anyway, third, exile target, artifact, or enchantment. So in other words, do green things. Green card, do green things. It's in the rare slot. I think a lot of people are going to pick this up. Like a lot. That said, I don't see it being of like $10. I mean, that's special. Next up, we got Prophet's Eidetic Memory. By the way, photographic memory, not a thing. Not a real thing. No human has ever had that. Eidetic memories is what it's called. And it doesn't work like a photograph. You have to actually acknowledge everything that you see. If you didn't pay attention to it, it's not there in the photograph is what I mean. It's a hyper-memorization and like a form of weird... I'm not going to get into it. Other than I have it. So it's a 2-cost blue legendary enchantment. Haven't read it yet, but that's usually a bad sign. When Prophet's Eidetic Memory enters the battlefield, draw a card, and then you have no maximum hand size. Oh, God. At the beginning of combat on your turn, if you've drawn more than 1 card this turn... Wait, beginning of... I thought they said at the beginning of your turn. No, you probably haven't. Put X 1/1 counters on target creature you control, where X is the number of cards you've drawn this turn -1. This is Cancer Incarnate. If you're playing literally anything in blue or blue mix that utilizes this, you're an asshole, and your deck is also an asshole. Moving on. Blood Spatter Analysis. It's a black plus red. This is getting wild. This set is such an unset. Enchantment, okay. When Blood Splatter Analysis enters the battlefield, deals 3 damage to target creature and opponent controls. Okay. And then whenever one or more creatures die, on any side of the battlefield in multiplayer Commander, keep that in mind, mill a card and put a Bloodstain counter on Blood Splatter Analysis, then sacrifice it if it has 5 or more. When you do, return target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. So it's like a kill spell with a little rebound. It's nothing special, it's just nice. Like, I can't immediately name anything like this in these colors. So they found a new thing and printed it, and yeah, it'll probably be a couple dollars worth of popularity in Commander, which is always really nice. Next up, we got Kylox's... Oh, here we go, my German brothers. Yes, I'm like half German, half Dutch, half Irish, deal with it. So naturally, solamente hablo español y inglés. But we're going to take a crack at it. It's Kylox's Spannungsschreiter. It's probably actually pretty close. And it has Beweicherung 6. You know what? I'm going to pull it up. It's Kylox's Voltage Strider. Okay, 3 cost, 4/4 in Izzet colors. I already hate it. Artifact Vehicle. Now I hate it more. Collect Evidence 6. Kylox's Voltage Strider becomes an artifact creature until end of turn. When Kylox's Voltage Strider attacks, you can cast an instant or sorcery spell among the cards exiled with it. If that spell would be put into a graveyard, put it on at the bottom of its owner's library instead at Crew 2. And then I assume, they forgot this in the translation, that it's Crew 2. I assume Collect Evidence 6 is like, you just have 6 clues maybe? I don't know. I think because this is a special trim and because it's German so there's no room on the card, that the reminder text just isn't there, so we'll see. Next up, it's ya boy, Weidarau Fleben, der Vergangenheit. We used to just call him Vergi in high school. It's Relive the Past, which I believe is actually illegal to do in Germany to some extent. Finally, I can make some jokes about my own people that I feel no connection to whatsoever, other than Bratwurst. So it's a 7-cost spell. That's pretty beefy. Sorcery, return up to 1 target artifact card, up to 1 target land card, and up to 1 target non-aura enchantment card from your graveyard to the battlefield. So another Resurrector. And I think people, for sure in the Resurrector deck right now, they're running white. I don't see it enough that I don't remember what the rest is. But I feel like you could fit green in there if it's not already there. But yeah, from the graveyard to the battlefield. They are 5/5 elemental creatures in addition to their other types. Okay, that I didn't see coming. I think white, blue, black is the self-resurrector, but there have been different versions over time here, because we ain't losing any cards in standard, so you can mix up whatever you want. But like in a bad way. I made that sound good. There's nothing good about that. Next up, we got Doppelgang. Oh, great. Let me look up the German to English translation. Just kidding. I believe it translates to Seeing Hitler in Argentina. How strange. So it's 1 blue plus 1 green. Okay, I haven't read it yet. Please tell me this is an improved, psychotically over-the-edge version of Alter Ego from Shadows. Or Eldritch, I don't remember. That may actually be my favorite card of all time in the game. Hands down, period, the end. Alright, so it's 1 blue, 1 green plus XXX. So to get X up to 2, you got to pay 6. Get it to 1, you got to pay 3. You know how it works. For each of X target permanents, create X tokens that are copies of that permanent. Oh, come on. You don't even put counters on it. What are you doing? Come on. You don't even drop a legendary. This isn't even that good. So for 5, you could copy one thing. Yours, theirs, any type of permanent. I mean, you could technically copy a land, I guess. You could get a bunch of ETBs and then get simultaneously, after the fact, a bunch of legendary death triggers if you cloned like a legendary. I don't know. There's got to be something you could do with this, but in standard, I kind of don't think so. Play that stupid free casting cascade dinosaur from hell that they should have banned a long time ago, and you pretty much got this card, but for cheaper. But outside of standard, you could do something with this. Sealed pool, draft, yeah, I could see it for 5. Now, let's say you got X up to 3. Did you read that second part correctly? For each of 3 target permanents, create 3 tokens that are copies of, it should say each permanent, but I guess that permanent is one way to phrase it. So you get 9 tokens, 3, 3, and 3. Now, that would take 11 mana. That's a tall order for even most standard decks right now, and standard is completely out of control. Whatever, the card's insane. So next up we got Drag the Canal, also known as Dredge the Canal, I believe is the actual term. Anyway, blue plus black, instant rare, create a 2/2 white and blue detective creature token. If a creature died this turn, you gain 2 life, surveil 2, then investigate. So in other words, pay 2 and do all of the things. You know, the real mystery with this set is, was there just not enough room on the card to say what a 2/2 white and blue detective creature token is? Or is it a vanilla token? I think by rule you actually have to describe it, but I don't know. I'm not in a custom frame, but this isn't, so yeah, I don't know. Must just be a tribal thing, you know. But next up we got the Pride of Hulklade. It's legendary creature Croca Turtle Populus. It's 10+1. Because of course it is, but this spell costs X less to cast, so in other words, 10 less to cast, where X is the total toughness of creatures you control. Oh, I was joking. I didn't know the sentence ended that way. So no, legitimately this costs 1. It's a 2/15 with Defender. My God. And if you pay 2 + 2 blue, which came out of nowhere, until end of turn, target creature you control gets +1/+0 and gains whatever this creature deals combat damage to a player, draw cards equal to its toughness, and can attack as though it didn't have Defender. I feel like it would be way more fun if it said another creature. Now it's just, okay, we get it, you vape, it costs 4. It doesn't have trample, but it does 15 damage. Like, we get it. Shouldn't be able to power itself up. Just shouldn't be. Well, got my new least favorite cryptid. Next up, we've got Connecting the Dots. It's a 2-cost red enchantment. Whenever a creature you control attacks, exile the top card of your library face down. You can look at it. They put that in parentheses. And then if you pay 1 plus a red, discard your hand, sacrifice Connecting the Dots, put all cards exiled with Connecting the Dots into its owner's hand. Okay. Hate to say it, this might actually be too slow for a red rush deck. Now in a red-blue deck, it's already pissing me off and it's not even printed yet. Next up we got Vanifar Evolved Enigma. So for 1 green, 1 blue, +2, you can get your very own legendary creature, Elf Ooze Wizard, which is probably a species and a gender at this point. So it's a 3/4 at the beginning of combat on your turn, choose one, cloak a card from your hand, whatever the hell that means, or put a 1/1 counter on each colorless creature you control. In a 2-color deck. That makes sense. What is cloaking? Who the hell knows? The answer is nobody, as long as you're playing this trim of the card with this frame. Next up, Intrude on the Mind. Ooh, a mythic. It's a 5-cost blue, so this is going to be nuts. That is all the words. That's not even just a lot. That's all of them. That's the entire English language put in card form. Oh boy. Reveal the top 5 cards of your library and separate them into 2 piles. An opponent chooses one of the... It's just a frickin' fact or fiction Sphinx effect or whatever. Okay. An opponent chooses one of those piles, put that pile into your hand and the other into your graveyard. Create a 0/0 colorless Thopter artifact creature token with flying for some reason. And this is a story spotlight too, by the way. Then put a +1/+1 counter on it for each card put into your graveyard this way. Wow. You get a free Thopter out of it. That's just fantastic. It's like losing at The Price is Right, but they send you home with a toaster. It's only 5 cards, okay? You pop something that looks cool, then 2 that you don't even want, and then they choose the 2, and then you get the 2 most powerful. This ain't news. But I gotta say, yeah, Mental Magic. I feel like that would solve the case pretty damn quick. Next up, we got Delny, Streetwise Lookout, who really just looks like she's keeping an eye on those different-looking people across the street that just moved in with that hairstyle. So Karen here is a legendary creature human scout, and creatures you control the power 2 or less can't be blocked by creatures with power 3 or greater. One of those ones where you read the sentence, you gotta go back and read it twice just to figure out what the hell this does. So if an ability of a creature you control with power 2 or less triggers, that ability triggers an additional time. Oh boy, everybody's favorite effect. Yeah, I hate this. Next up, Unyielding Gatekeeper. It's a 2-cost 3/2 Elephant Cleric. Hello, disguise 2. How many effects are in this damn set? Seriously, nobody's going to be able to figure out what the hell's going on. We still got like the other 15 sets that are still legal. You literally cannot teach somebody how to play standard constructed Magic the Gathering anymore. It is not possible. And they're pricing everybody out of it. They're power ramping it to hell and back so people are uncomfortable and just leave. They forced all the stores to close by competing with them on Amazon, among other things. And then they wonder, there's a whole bunch leaving. Why aren't we attracting new customers? I wonder why. I really do. So anyway, Disguise 2. You may cast this card face down for 2 as a 2/2 creature, also known as Morph. Oh, with Ward 2. Oh, so it's Mega Morph. Oh, wait, they already did that. So it's Ultra Mega Tenkaichi Budokai Instinct Mode Morph. Cool. Turn it face up anytime for its disguise cost. It's literally the same thing. Come on. So when Unyielding Gatekeeper is turned face up, exile another target non-land permanent, just at all, period, okay? If you controlled it, why wouldn't you? Return it. Let me start over with this train wreck. So Disguise 2, okay, you plop it down for way too much damn mana, which is why nobody ever played Morph, then flip it up for its disguise cost. Got it. It's a 2/2, Ward 2, great, wonderful, hooray. I bet nobody will know what this is when this is probably the only damn card in the set with it. So when it is turned face up, exile another target non-land permanent so that you own or that they own or that some guy across the street owns, whatever. Then if you controlled it, return it to the battlefield tapped. So optional flicker, otherwise it's controller. So if it's not yours, its controller creates a 2/2 white and blue detective creature token. This is the most needlessly complicated, stupid card. And it's a 3/2 for 2, so you know people are going to play it. It's non-legendary, so you know people are going to play it. Also, a 2/2 might as well be nothing. I mean, it might as well just be like an elk token or something. I don't know where I got that example from, I wonder. So this is basically another white ETB overpowered creature that gets rid of something. We already have too many of those, and it was already runing standard until they printed stuff that was even more egregious and people stopped playing it. So now I believe we have 3 of these legal, which means you can just run White Kidnapper. Unfortunately, this isn't really a 3/2 for 2. It's a 3/2 for 5. Plus 2. So 7. I think I'll just exile it with a 2 cost, thanks. I hate it, but it's also not good, but also if somebody plays it, I'll hate it even more. Like that, you can't make a worse card. Next up, Assemble the Players. Ooh, here we go. It's a 2 cost enchantment, or you may look at the top card of your library anytime. Once each turn, you may cast a creature spell with power 2 or less from the top of your library. Oh, that's what we needed right now in white. Yep, they nailed it. Wonderful. Next up, Case of the Stashed Skeleton. Oh god, it's a saga, but it's a case. Oh, here we go. So when this case enters the battlefield, create a... Oh, it's actually not a saga. It's literally an enchantment case. Well, how do you operate this thing? Whatever, I'll just pretend it's a saga, because let's be honest, it probably is. So when this enters the battlefield, create a 2/1 black skeleton creature token and suspect it. Why would you... It's dead. Why would that be the suspect? Oh my god, did they even read these cards? It has menace against block. Okay. To solve, you control no suspected skeleton. Oh, here we go. And then solved. Okay. Kind of explains itself unlike anything else in this damn set. Okay, so you control no suspected skeletons. So if unsolved, solve at the beginning of your next end step. Okay, then solved, you have to... Wait, it's in solved status. You don't have to immediately pay 2. It just is solved. And then you can pay 2, I guess. I don't know. Sacrifice this case, search your library for a card, put it into your hand, then shuffle. So you have to bring out a 2/1, get it killed, and then pay 2 to tutor a card. Not actually the worst thing I've ever seen. This is actually, like, pretty good. I think this is going to be a little bit of a sleeper that's, like, pretty valuable. Next up, Pyrotechnic Performer. It's a 2-cost red 3/2 because we needed that in the game. It's a Viashino Assassin, Disguise 1. You may cast this card face down. Okay, it's just Mega Ultra Tenkaichi Morph. Gotcha. Whenever it or another creature you control is turned face up, that creature deals damage equal to its power to each opponent. Oh good, even faster red. That's what we needed. Thanks, Watsy. Next up, we got Steam Core Scholar. Neat looking, but I'm sure it's complete ass cancer because it's obviously an is it spell. Alright, so it's a 3-cost blue 2/2 creature detective weird, and flying and vigilance, and when it enters the battlefield, draw 2 cards, then discard 2 cards unless you discard an instant sorcery or creature card with flying. Weirdly specific, but yeah, it'll reload your hand pretty good. It'll filter through stuff, get the cards you need to play some stupid is it cascade crap, so yeah, pretty typical. Don't love it. Next up, Bloodline Ripper. It's 3+3 black. Okay, 6/5, mythic. Hello. Creature Vampire Assassin. I'll just point it out. Probably him. He did it. Flying ward sack a creature. So you have to sack a creature to target him, and then whenever a creature dies, target opponent loses 2 life, and you gain 2 life. So just, standard big black card that's annoying and kind of hard to get rid of. Kind of uncreative if you ask me, but you can have more than one out because they're not legendary, so that's kind of spicy. Next up, technically Voha Jaws of the Conclave. Pause if you want to see it, otherwise I already covered it in the other video. Then we got Tomic, Wielder of Law, which is, another pre-release promo that isn't legal at the pre-release. And then Melik, the other guy who's not legal at the pre-release. All 3 of them. So moving on to something we care about, Sharp-Eyed Rookie. It's a 2-cost green 2/2 creature human detective with vigilance, and whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, if its power is greater than Sharp-Eyed Rookie's power or its toughness is greater than hers, put a 1/1 counter on Sharp-Eyed Rookie and investigate. So it's that, evolving thing or whatever. I forget what you even call that effect. That's a darn nice clue generator over time. Too bad your opponent's going to win on turn 4, maybe turn 3 if it's me. Sure would be nice to be able to play some of the cards in this set in Standard, but you can't. Next up, Homicide Investigator. It's 2-cost black 2/2 creature human detective, and whenever 1 or more non-token creatures you control die, investigate. Oh boy, a lot of dying going on, a lot of death triggers. I would dare say too many is getting a little dangerous because then you can do these weird loop things. But yeah, whenever they die, investigate this ability. Oh, triggers only once each turn. Okay, so they saw the writing on the walls when I did, but still, 1 per turn might still be a little bit too many, believe it or not. All you get out of it is a clue, but still. Next up, No Witnesses! It's a 4-cost, white, sorcery, in rare. We already know what it does. Look at the artwork. Do I need to read it? Do I really need to? Each player who controls the most creatures investigates. Then destroy all creatures. Discount Kaboom right here, which there's already too many of these in the game. People are playing an all board wipe, all control manland deck right now, and it's virtually unbeatable. Oops, Wizards did an oopsie again. Well, I'm about halfway through and I don't feel like editing a 50-minute video, so that's where I'm going to leave it today. Watch for more spoilers potentially tomorrow. I'm actually working all day tomorrow at a special event, but we'll see what happens. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.